When you go to set up a bank account and you say, hey, this is my company to manage my crypto, they're not going to set up your bank account. It's not going to matter where you go. If you say this is a holding company that I use to invest in alternative assets, that could be real estate, it could be private equity, it could be private credit, other things, gold, silver, they'll be like, oh, okay, sure. What's the NAICS code? And you'll tell them 551112 or 551114. They'll look it up. They'll see that it's a holding company. They're going to be good to go. If you tell them it's a crypto trading company, probably not going to set you up an account. You're going to have to work with a specific bank or an exchange or somebody like that. So, again, we've come to all of these things in our quest for the best outcome, and we've structured this a specific way for that. A lot of people also ask, if I move my assets into the LLC, is there tax implications? And there can be if you set up a partnership. So a lot of people want their spouse on the LLC, which is completely understandable, right? There are 15 states that have a qualified joint venture, or a QJV. And if you're in one of those 15 states, you can use that exemption between you and your spouse to set up a partnership and still move the assets in there with no tax implications. If you're not in one of those states, one of the spouses is going to set up a single member LLC. This is a disregarded entity, and they are going to use the assets as a capital contribution to start the business. The way that we do that is you will write down the wallet, the amount of the asset name, XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, whatever you're putting in there, and the dollar amount that you bought it at. So we used to talk about, the day of the transfer, writing that amount down. We worked with our CPAs, and this again, it's an iterative process. We're always improving it. If you can write down the basis, that's the value that you're transferring in. So even if it's at a higher value or a different value than what you originally purchased it at, you're going to write down the basis value in your operating agreement on the capital contributions page. That tends to be like the Schedule 3 in your operating agreement toward the end of it. And that's where you're going to list the wallet again, the asset, the amount of the asset, and your cost basis, or whatever amount of money it was worth when you bought it. So if you do all those things, you structure it the right way, you're going to get creditor protection in Wyoming. A lot of people say, well, why don't I set up one in Arizona or the state that I reside in? Most people don't know that you can use a registered agent in another state as the address for your LLC to get the benefits of that state, especially if you're not going to be doing business in your own state. Okay, so this is kind of an online distributed ecosystem, crypto, right? Now, if you're buying real estate, you're going to be stuck in whatever state it's in. It's very difficult to, use Alaska law precedent